Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of AndrewsFootball.com. Welcome to my NFL Draft Review. Now, instead of making a video that's about 2 to 3 hours long, I cut it down into sections of 8. So I'm going to have 8 separate videos broken down by NFL division. Now, if you're new to my channel, I just got to ask you one simple question. Do you like talking football? Because if you do, you're in the right place. Ultimately, I'm making these videos to start a discussion with you. I want to hear what you think here. I'm offering my opinion. Give me a comment below and let me know what you're thinking. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did I fuck up on? Don't forget, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, there's a button right around here. See it, little subscribe button. Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Now, let's start the show. This is the AFC South edition of the Draft Review. And I'm going to start off with the Indianapolis Colts. I gave them an A, but I'm including DeForest Buckner in this. Basically, you traded the 13th pick in the draft for DeForest Buckner. I'm including that in your draft review. You get who I thought was the second best player on the 49ers last year. He now goes into a position that you needed. You put him next to Justin Houston. Your defensive line is awesome now. And then look what you did in the draft. You drafted Michael Pittman, who I thought was a little rich at 34, but considering you picked up Phillip Rivers, what does Phillip Rivers love? He loves size in his wide receivers. So you get a 6'4" wide receiver at pick 34 after you acquired Rivers. That's a great draft selection. And then you trade up a few picks and you get Jonathan Taylor, who ended up being the third running back off the board. This is a guy who should have gone in the first round, but I understand that when you have a running back who has some fumbling issues, not a great receiver, I get why he went in the second round, but he should have gone in the first round. He's that good. And I love Marlon Mack, but this is an upgrade over Marlon Mack. So you get a Taylor-Mack tandem with Phillip Rivers, who gets his big receiver, and you have a great offensive line. Then you got a Pro Bowl caliber defensive tackle this team had a great draft. Out of all the teams in the AFC South, I felt the Colts did more with this draft, including the Buckner trade, to improve their team. Jacksonville is next, and I gave Jacksonville a B+ here. And Henderson and Chasen are great picks, but I was kind of expecting a Yannick Ngakoue. I'm sorry, I'm butchering that name, but I was expecting him to be gone. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how they approach this offseason, because you have Josh Allen on one side, Chasen on the other side, and Yannick, who is kind of in limbo. But I fully expect him to be traded, and if that's the case, and you get two bookends in Allen and Chasen that are just going to be great fits for this Jacksonville defense. Chenault in round 2, that was great value. He easily could have gone in round 1. He's an explosive playmaker who Minshew's going to fall in love with. In the third round, Hamilton, the massive defensive tackle out of Ohio State. I think he was like 330, and believe it or not, he actually has the frame to put on more weight if you want him to. Put him as the defensive tackle with these two fast, athletic defensive ends. That's a great fit. Even if he's not an every down player, you get a run stuffer with two athletic defensive ends on the outside. It's great complementary pieces, and that's how you build a team together. You got undersized defensive ends and then a massive defensive tackle on the inside. That's a great fit. Quarterman in round 4, I really liked. Not great measurables, but highly productive at Miami. And then you get Scott, a perfect nickel corner in round 4. Two players who are going to make the team and contribute. You get in the 5th round a 6'6" wide receiver, another player who makes the team and will contribute. And then you had a great success with Minshew, a 6th-round quarterback from the Pac-12, draft another quarterback in the 6th round from the Pac-12 in Luton. He's a different type of player. I don't think he has the same natural passing talent as Minshew, but this is a developmental guy who could eventually be a backup. I'm not sure he makes the team or not. So overall, a really great draft. Lots of players, lots of starters. And I also liked how they complement each other, right? You get a defensive end who, a lot of people thought Chasen was a better fit as a 3-4 outside linebacker. I thought Josh Allen was a better fit as a 3-4 outside linebacker. So you get undersized defensive ends, then you get a massive defensive tackle. That's That's great cohesion. That's a great job of what Jacksonville did. So I also am predicting that Yannick will get traded. It's just a question of when. So I really love what Jacksonville did. They almost get an A, but they didn't get anything exceptional, but they got great fits, great selections, and really good value. So a B plus is the grade for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I give Tennessee a B. And first off, Isaiah Wilson, pick number 29. A lot of teams had him going in second round, but this is a guy who's going to be your day one starter at right tackle, going to play for 12 years, be a really good, solid, dependable player. Getting him at the end of the first round is not bad. A little bit of a reach, but considering that you lean heavy on the run, he's a run blocking right tackle, so I like that pick. Kristen Fulton in round 2 is an absolute steal. Almost every mock draft had him going in the first round. Most teams had Fulton rated above Wilson. That's just a fact. And so you get him at the end of the second round. This is going to be a starter. He's going to start. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but this is an eventual starter and somebody who's going to contribute. So this is a great pick. Your third round pick, Evans, I wouldn't have liked for all teams, but when you have a back like Derrick Henry, getting a smaller, quick back who can also help you on special teams, this is a great selection because it complements well. What I really liked about what Tennessee did is they got players that fit what they're trying to do. Your run-heavy team will get a guy who excels at run blocking on the right side who's going to be a starter. Kristen Fulton, the guy who's physical, who will eventually be a starter. And then you get Evans, who's a perfect complementary back to Derrick Henry. Normally, I don't spend a lot of time talking about seventh-round picks, but I really liked Colton McDonald for Tennessee late in the seventh round because this is a throwaway pick for a guy who played in a pass-happy offense, was highly productive, and he also runs a 4.58. So here's a guy who's athletic and productive at a pass-happy offense. You get a throwaway pick. I actually think he makes the team and could surprise. So I really liked what Tennessee did here. And finally is Houston. Now I'm giving Houston, I'm taking into account Houston's grade for the Hopkins trade and the Tunsil trade. Okay. So I'm factoring those two trades because I originally was going to give the Houston an F, but I really like the players they drafted. So I'm going to go with a D+. Bottom line, after watching what Buffalo gave up for Diggs and what you got for Hopkins, and then the fact that you drafted tackles in rounds 1 and 2 in the 2019 draft, and then coming towards the season, you have to give up a first-round pick for Tunsil. I can't tell you how bad that both those trades were. But bottom line, though, let's look at the players they did draft. And Blacklock's the guy who I thought could go in round 1. You get him in the second round. This is a guy, he may not be a day one starter, but he's going to be a day one contributor. He is going to help your defense and could be really, really good. I absolutely love this pick. It's a need and great value here. Then you turn around and get Greenard, late in the third. This is another guy that you maybe could have drafted late second and you would have been okay with that. Another guy fits a need. Another guy who may not be a day one starter. He will contribute. I liked him a lot more than most, and getting him in the late third round, that is a really good selection. Charlie Heck is interesting. His dad, Andy Heck, was a former NFL offensive lineman, and he's just the polar opposite of what you did in 2019. 2019, you went with small school athletes. Now you take a big school guy. He doesn't have the athleticism, but he has the production. So I like that pick. He can play left or right side. Doesn't matter if he's a starter or not. He will make the team and will probably make the team as a backup, maybe an eventual starter. I thought that was really, really good. And then your last two picks, Reed and Coulter, I think both make the team. Reed's undersized but ultra productive. And then Coulter, this is a guy from Rhode Island. He left after his junior year at Rhode Island. If he played at Power 5 school, he's 6'2", 200, runs a 4.45. If he played at Power 5 school, he's a second-round pick. Because he played at Rhode Island, he's a fifth-round pick. He makes a team. He's built like an NFL wide receiver. He has the size, speed. It's just that he played at Rhode Island. But I think he not only makes the team, he could be productive. This could be a huge steal. Ultimately, thanks to the trades you did before the draft, you did such a bad job no matter who you picked. I was going to give this I was going to give this draft a bad grade. I was ready to give them an F, but just on the 5 players that you picked, I would have given that a B, maybe a B plus. I love the 5 players that they picked, but considering you messed up in the 2019 draft, you had to get rid of you had to trade a first round pick for Tunzel, then you trade your best player for really bad trade compensation, then on top of that, Gurley's let go. Would you rather have David Johnson or Todd Gurley? You'll want to have Gurley. So ultimately, I'm going to give them a D plus thanks to all the stuff pre-draft. But the 5 players they drafted, that deserves a B. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Let me know what your opinion is. Drop a comment below. I'm offering you what my opinion is, but I want to know what you think. Ultimately, this video was created so I can have a conversation with you. I got my opinion now. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends. And hey, I'll see you next time.